Hello, hello, hello. We are gone through the first round stages of Euro 2020. There's a lot of excitement now because we're getting to the hot matches coming along now. I know that my knowledge of football is nearly zero, but I wanted to update everyone out there who is not following it from a European perspective, because of course on Saturday we've got a big match, Italy against Austria for the round of 16. Now we all know that big match is England against Germany, happening next Tuesday. Make sure that you follow it because some heads will be rolling after that match. Other than that, you know, pretty much everything else is ordinary, I would say. Spain and Croatia, that's another interesting one, though I've got my favorite there. Belgium and Portugal, France and Switzerland. Wales facing Denmark, that's an interesting one. Everything else, you know, there's 8 matches between Saturday and Tuesday, so a lot of excitement coming along to the finals happening in Wembley Stadium on the 11th of July. By that time, we'll be very close to the release of Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector. So before we release that, we want to go through the Euro and make sure that you play Battle Sector whilst you watch the Olympics. Completely different kettle of fish. So that's the sporting event we're all waiting for. Hello, everyone. We're getting a lot of followers recently. We're only about 300 and so short of getting to the 1,000 threshold, which guarantees the addition of 5 back catalog games to the Slitherine store, and only, thanks for following us, ErectQ, and only 31 more subscribers to add Field of Glory 2 Medieval to the Slitherine store. Or you can ask Mordante to buy you a copy of Field of Glory 2 Medieval because he wants the game to succeed. So he may be sending you over some copy of that game. Right, so big release yesterday actually on the Xbox store. We released the Order of Battle franchise. It's been interesting. We have yet to see you know, how the game performs and so on. So we don't have any data yet, so we're just crossing our fingers that the game goes well. But if you own an Xbox One, so not the new one that no one can find, you can download Order of Battle World War II, which includes the first DLC, the Blitzkrieg DLC. So it's not a free-to-play game, make sure that you know that. If you want the Order of Battle franchise, you'll have to spend $19.99. And that will include the tutorial campaign, every first mission of every single DLC. Thanks for following us, Xeno Raver, and the Blitzkrieg, the whole Blitzkrieg campaign. This is the package that will be included in the $19.99 price for release on Xbox, and everything else is also released alongside the first one. So every DLC is also available, so you'll be able to just download every other game as well. Make sure that you give it a try. We had some very good comments on the forums for, you know, how we ported the visuals, how the game plays, and so on. So quality-wise, we're pretty sure the game experience is really, really good. So you know, give it a try if you've got an Xbox. It's good that we see some of our games coming to consoles, because there's a lot of opportunity there, and thanks for resubscribing, Eating Cheese 571. There's a lot of opportunity to get more players playing our games on consoles, and it is true that there's not a lot of turn-based strategy games on consoles. So with this one, the already released Fantasy General, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, and Battle Sector also coming on the Xbox. We'll start having a decent number of titles there to sort of address a wider community and make sure that some of you guys also play our games on console. So absolutely thrilled about it, and a great job from the development team here, who's tried and made a lot of tries to improve the UI, make it very playable with a controller. Hello. Having a tea. No one said have some tea. Yes, here it is for the crowd. Okay. So released on Xbox. Give it a try. Also, I want to give an update on Poster Check. Oh gosh, check 18 cheese. Released on Xbox, Order of Battle. We also want to give an update on the release of Valor Victory, because last week saw the release of this game. We went through a number of comments on the forum. Any plans to get your games included in the Xbox Game Pass? Well, we certainly hope that some games will be picked up by Microsoft, and hopefully get that level of support. It's not always a choice we can make. So Valor Victory, we released the first patch today. This is following on some bug fixes and so on that we needed to get sorted in order to launch the tournament. Well, we'll get to the tournament in a moment. But feedback so far has been pretty good. We are happy about the launch. We had a very good check with Lance about what we do next. We have Valor Victory is as I said many times, it's a long shot. We want to make sure that a lot of players play the game and start populating the community. It's an important franchise for us that we want to bring along for a long time. So we're not rushing things out. We want to make things in a proper way. We don't call these things early access or anything. We just want to properly follow up on comments for the game. So the next big thing we're looking at is following on comments from players, is adding a zoom level that works for everyone, and do some UI scaling for better user experience. Okay, I'm going to answer some of these questions later as well. Also, tournament. We have opened the tournament subscriptions for the first tournament of Valor Victory. I think there's about 2 or 3 slots left. 3 slots left for the first tournament of Valor Victory. We keep it small for the moment because we want to make sure that everything works, especially because the first patch also includes some scoring system fixes we had to make. So the first tournament is really sort of a glorified beta, I would say, in a sense that we are going to finalize a lot of the features of the scoring system. And from then on, you'll be able to subscribe to many more tournaments in the future. So make sure that you give it a try. It's a perfect way to play the game. It's also what the game is made for. Competitive play, and make sure that people interact and play it in multiplayer. Of course, AI, any board game port is a difficult beast to treat, because we know from past experiences that some players don't really like the single player experience. So Valor Victory gives its best at the multiplayer. So make sure you give it a try, and at least without the tournament stuff, make sure that you're participating in multiplayer anyway. And the third thing I want to say, we know, guys, that we have been pushing on the editor of Valor Victory a lot. So there's already some stuff available, and a special thank goes to Rico, who's made, I think, 3 different maps. There's already quite a few user-generated maps, so the content of the game grows a lot. I think just to give you an idea, we have a map inspired by the Saving Private Ryan movie. It's called Ramel Rescue, and it's actually pretty fun. with all your characters from the movie and such. There's a, let me check here. There's there's one called Reisman's Dozen, who's got a nice storyline behind it. There's a Canadian Forces one called Ball Trap and Messieurs Horn, which is pretty cool as well. So give it a try, and also make sure that you sort of experience what others are creating for the game, because that's also helping them create better maps and helping them create content that will enrich the game over time. All right, so going to some of the questions. Time to get VR working on the Xbox-friendly version of Shadow Empire UI. VR? Pixel, what the hell are you saying? I don't know. VR for Shadow Empire is a bit of a big step, isn't it? What else there? We want more simultaneous turn-based multiplayer games. This is an interesting comment. I read there, simultaneous and turn-based. Anything that's WeGo. We had just a big meeting the other day, because one of the very hard things we have to do when we have a WeGo game is explain what WeGo is to non-WeGo players. And there's a lot of non-WeGo players, the people that really don't understand what simultaneous and turn-based would actually mean. Nobody has played, not everyone's played Frozen Synapse and so on. So it's a very cool mechanic. It's a very cool way to play a war game, but it's very hard for people to understand, for non-war gamers to understand what it is all about. So absolutely true that we need more of these. Help us deliver on explaining the genre to some of these people, and of course Pocus is going to help us in that as well. VR designs. Okay, so I don't really understand the questions, but the question, maybe you should go up, Bruno, to see what the question was about. Time to get VR working on the Xbox-friendly version of the Shadow Empire UI. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. A console version of Shadow Empire is probably a thing that's got more chances to happen than us making a Mandalorian war game. Just to give you an idea of the chances, overall chances of that. But we'll talk to Vic and see what he thinks about. All right, so other things. You should reach out to Pixelated Apollo again for a Reconquista playthrough. That's one for Paolo. More games for the Switch would be nice. Switch is a difficult beast, actually. A good comment, though. The Switch console is very much the one that has the least overlap in terms of target audience with ours. So we're finding it very hard to find the audience for our types of games on Switch. And of course, we're not the killer app that people would buy a Switch for. So commercially, it's very risky. But we're working on it, and it's definitely something that we've got an eye on. So watch out for more news about that. So Mandalorian-based war game confirmed. As much as a VR version, as an Xbox version of Shadow Empire for sure. And right, so I have another post to check here, but other than that, we should be fine. All right, so more news. Strategic Command. We've got a series of patches that is quality of life patches that are present that been released for all the different Strategic Command games. We're also looking at doing more tournaments in the future, but we're fixing some of the scoring system feedback we had. So before we run new tournaments for Strategic Command, there will be a little bit of a gap because we want to fix the scoring system. But yeah, the guys are working on more stuff, and the patches are happening all the time, so that's for sure. Master of Magic, right, so we have released the first development diary for Master of Magic. This is a development diary that just wants to give an overall idea of what the game is going to be about. And the core message we want to give is that Master of Magic is going to be Master of Magic. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel. We are 100%, or let's say 99%, replicating the Master of Magic experience you all know of, or like everyone who's played the original Master of Magic know of. This is very important that we say, both from a visual perspective, from a units perspective, from gameplay flow perspective, everything. We really want to do that, because the first goal we have with Master of Magic is not to launch the modern version of Master of Magic. We want to launch Master of Magic, an original great game that started a standard in so many ways. There's already a lot of content and a lot of gameplay there to make a pretty modern, contemporary 4X war game. And this is going to be our starting point. After that, we'll see how to enhance it, how to add stuff, how to add features and such. But believe me, Master of Magic will be 100% Master of Magic. And we don't want to sort of disappoint people in saying, we're adding this, I don't know, very modern component, or like esports, or pushing heavy on multiplayer, or making it something different like what it was. This is our first thing. So read the first dev diary for Master of Magic. There is also an introduction to Muha Games. Some of you might not know who Muha Games is, so we also want to sort of frame that. Why we partnered with Muha Games, what they did in the past, what types of games they are expert in. You'll certainly find that they are the perfect fit to develop the next generation of Master of Magic. So give it a read. There's a lot of imagery as well. So it's kind of really the core of where we want Master of Magic to be in the future. And from now on, we'll probably give you a new dev diary every 3 or 4 weeks with a lot of insights on gameplay and art, and a lot of how we're doing with development. Right. So Mom Beta, there will be some times before that, but we're going to open it as soon as we can. As soon as the beta is approaching, as you know, we are not opening betas when the betas are available. We're opening when we kind of know that the beta is kind of upcoming. So that is when we're going to open it. I don't think it's going to be before the end of the year, but who knows how development progresses. All right. Okay. Yeah. So more news. Gladius can be played either Go or simultaneous turn-based. Yeah. There's a lot of games that are WeGo these days. I mean, upcoming Scramble is WeGo. We've announced the game at Home of Gamers Live. That's one WeGo game. We'll have all the Age-Out games that are WeGo. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is WeGo. We've got quite a lot, but it's a mechanic, it's a way of playing a game that's not easy to understand. So that's the Comet Mission WeGo. Thank you, Mordante, my official assistant and community manager. Send over a CV, Mordante. We want you on board. Other than that, right, so there's also an ongoing tournament for Panzer Corps 2. I wanted to update you on. This is the first one that includes the new scoring system, and it's going pretty well. One of the things I wanted to, I don't know if we can show, but I wanted to let you know about is that the first 10 players in the ranking on the Panzer Corps tournament so far are all people who never played a tournament with Fear of Glory, with any other game of Slitherine. What I I take from that is that the tournament system is a very good way for shaping up a community, but then it's also a great way to attract people to our community. So making sure that all these people are then able to also play other tournaments in other games is one of our objectives. So make sure that you participate in tournaments, because it's one of the things, it's even if you're not like a super big expert in a game, you kind of get the idea of what the tournaments are, how they work, but also the great the great level of interaction there is between players during the tournaments. You get to know a lot of people, you've got into the in-game chat and so on. It's just fun. I'm very bad at playing these games. I usually lose in tournaments, but some of these tournaments I just participate because they're really, really good to get to meet community members, have fun with the games and so on, and confront with other players, see, what your level is overall. Nice artwork there for Axis Operation 1942, which releases on the 9th of July. Actually, Bruno, can we show the release schedule? That might be a good point to add. Right, so we released Valor Victory. There's a legend now with colors. Look at that. Because I know last week somebody asked, what were the colors about? That's great, guys. I didn't even know that was going to be there, so I'm surprised. Very good job, guys. All promoted. So next up, Panther Core 1942 for July 9th. Then we have Warhammer 40k Battle Sector. I already tell you that Warhammer 40k Battle Sector consoles will not release on the 15th of July. It's going to be postponed. We didn't even start certification, so it's not going to happen. It's going to release on PC first, and then on consoles. Not much later, but later than that. So we'll have to change that next week. We'll update you on release dates and such, based on the current available information. Other than that, Combat Mission Cold War, 22nd of July, and everything else is still in the making. We have big meetings either this week or beginning of next about Q3, Q4. So a lot of dates will appear in the upcoming tea times. We'll update you on that. Didn't know about new Flashpoint. Yeah, Flashpoint next year though. We already gave the good news. There's a new Flashpoint in development, and the bad news: Flashpoint is releasing next year. So there's already a round of news that went on with that one. Paolo beats me all the time. I never played against Paolo, but or Paolo. Paolo never beats me because I'm his boss, so he has to let me win. But we have Paolo from customer support. I never played against him, but make sure that I give it a go very soon. There's one weird thing I wanted to show you. We have a weird thing happening during our streams. When we launch polls, there's a trend of people trying to make all the polls go 50-50. So every result we get recently of in-game polls about, when we ask players what do we think we should do and so on, they end up 50-50. This is not helping us, guys. It's starting to be a meme in the company. We don't even know what to do now for this. But if you like the idea, we should run some very stupid tests and see if you are 50-50 on other topics as well. So the word is divided. You're absolutely right there. Right. So what time is it? 25. Also, I just one bit of very personal news. I started an Instagram channel. This is very personal, but not very personal, in the sense that what I'm trying to do with my Instagram channel is give some more, I would say, insights on market data, market trends, what's happening out there, and so on. Tea or coffee? Gosh, go 50-50, guys. And So if you're you know, willing to follow some of the news about our games, I post stuff like how many people play a demo, or you know, what the market trends are, what the most anticipated strategy games are, and so on. It'd be, you know, interesting to join and have a chat there and have a more direct interaction somehow. And that's Instagram / POM, which is my nickname. Also, list of streams.
I don't have
it. He doesn't have a list of streams. This is the first time that happened. So you are allowed now. Everyone against Bruno in the chat now. Like, boo, Bruno, now. The day has come. Yeah, absolutely, Robbie. The moment has come. So the boo Bruno has to start now, and thanks to the bad Bruno, we'll have to beat the number of comments ever in a chat, in a Twitch chat. So help us achieve that goal. We need to fire the guy. So the only thing I know, Bruno, is that we have a command stream on Saturday. That's for sure, that Kushan will do a command stream on Saturday. And other than that, maybe you can pull the Twitch. Can you do that? Can you put the Twitch schedule here? So we can do it. Whilst don't touch Bruno. Paolo will touch Bruno. We have the weapons in the office here to beat him with a big stick and more. We have your crossbow in the office, so we can use that. We can definitely use that. The couple of other information I wanted to give you. Actually, yeah, two information. Remember that this the 29th of July is going to be the last tea time we do before the new season starts. We've got huge things we're going to add to our Twitch channel in the future. We have got new shows, new ideas, a lot of very cool things. So stick with us. The summer will be very short. We have a number of weeks to prepare for the new season, so make sure you follow us. It's going to be awesome. Also, don't remember the exact date, so Francesco, can you write it? Remember the big event for Las Navas de Tolosa. We are going to reenact the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa with a historian commenting on it. It's going to be super cool. Richard York is going to play the battle, and we're really going to put a lot of effort to put together a great show for you guys with lots of insights, historical background, you know, military stuff. It's really cool. So give it a, you know, put it on your diary. Friday, July 16th. I think it's going to be at 5 p.m. UK time. And I'm super excited about it. I have to say, it's a big show that's waiting to happen. So even if you're not into Field of Glory, just follow it for the, you know, history part. It's going to be really awesome. So I'm going to repeat this until we get to that point because it's really good. So here's the stream thing. So oh gosh, I don't even know how to read this. So Yok Dog is playing Panzer Corps on tomorrow, then at 6 p.m. Then we have Warring East with XTRG still tomorrow at 8 p.m. And then we have Kushan playing Command on Saturday. That's the end of the week stuff, and then the other ones, you can see them there. I really prefer your little piece of paper, mate, so make sure you don't forget about it next week. I really look forward to that. Right, so also we're going to add more people to the Starship Troopers beta very soon. So if you didn't subscribe yet, do it. The first wave of beta feedback has come through, and so we're adding more people to that very soon. And also Distant Worlds 2 beta will be adding more people to that beta. So make sure you subscribe to the beta, and you're into the that's slitherine.com/beta or matrixgames.com/beta, because that's the only way you can participate. And of course, send me over money if you want to be in the beta, prioritized in the beta. I only accept 50 euros upwards. Right, so we made it to the half hour. Thanks for following us, guys. Next week, pretty busy as well. We have lots to share, and we're approaching the Panzer Corps 2 anniversary as well. Remember, it's 10 years. Panzer Corps is alive this year. So on the 9th of July, with the release of 1942, we'll also have some celebration stuff happening alongside that, announcements, news, interview with Alex Shargin, hopefully. And so, stay tuned. And next week we've got more stuff to happen. So I'll see you next week.